We are live on Yonkers Voice, and today, as promised, is Mr. Anthony Merante, Councilman Anthony Merante, also a candidate to Yonkers City Mayor for the election that's coming up in November 2023. Mr. Merante, welcome on my platform, Yonkers Voice.
Ruth, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Mr. Merante, today we have an interview to talk about a few things that have been happening in our city. Look, I go to all of these events, reports, press conferences. Crime is down, crime is down, crime is down. Statistically, they're saying that crime is down. But optical illusion on the streets of Yonkers is that crime is not down. What do you see? What do you think?
Well, the statistics are easily misleading because of the fact that starting with the bail reform law and trickling down to our local police, who are the best police I could probably say in the United States, they're the ones with the handcuffs on them with this bail reform. So at this point, there are less arrests, less incidents being reported because people know that the revolving door is just a waste of time. So they don't report crime. If you don't report crime, there's not a statistic. Therefore, the statistics are skewed.
What are you saying? That crime is up, but it's going unreported?
Again, yes, that is correct. That is there again. Obviously, some of the bad crimes are being reported, but as far as the crimes, as far as the smash and grab situation, certain incidents that probably could be an assault, a minor assault. Someone, they're not going to go. People are not calling the police anymore, and the police go in there, and their job right now is just to try to mitigate the situation and not process. Because when they do go and process these situations, I'm told by police officers that they're the ones that get ridiculed by the judges. The judge, why did you bring this person to this? They did something wrong. Well, don't bring them here. So why do I need to do it? See, when I'm mayor, I'll go to these judges and say, well, these are crimes. We are going to report them. We are going to give these people a record because everyone's trying to protect people of issues that they don't want people to have records, and that's wrong. If you're a crook, you're a crook. You're a thug, you're a thug. If you make a mistake, we got to take care of the kid or the person.
Last week alone, less than 24 hours, we had 3 shootings, a stabbing, 3 people stabbed, an assault on Culver Park. I don't know which type of weapon was used, but I know that the victim was bleeding from the head.
Okay.
And probably there are other crimes that are going unreported. Those are the ones that were reported, police presence was there. People in Yonkers are saying, crime is not down. Crime is actually up. But the current mayor and police department are saying that crime is down, statistically.
Okay, that's exactly right. It's statistically because if people are, like you said, if there's an incident that goes unreported, someone got assaulted and they're bleeding and it doesn't get picked up as a police incident, it's not a statistic, is it? So the statistics are skewed, and the answer is we need to do something. We need to address this issue. How do we do this? I guess it's again the situation with the bail reform. Okay, and I blame it fully on the bail reform, is that people are committing crimes where there are little to no consequence, okay, and doing it again, and they're using up our resources, and there's just so much the police can do. Now, what are we supposed to do? Hire 50 more police officers just to cover for the fact that...
I don't think we would oppose another 50 police officers.
I'm sure that I'm sure that no one's going to oppose 50, but we'll tell that to the taxpayer because somebody's got to pay for it. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary if we incarcerate the people that need to be incarcerated. Obviously, there are people that make mistakes and have issues, and which leads us to early intervention with kids so that they don't become the part of the problem in the future. It's really education and programs so that kids have places to go and meet police and respect. I think the word, you know, I always thought I have an R after my name as a Republican, but it's also respect. We believe in respect, and that's all you need in this country is a lot more respect, and a lot more things will be resolved.
Well, I have to create a parallel. I know that we are not talking about Florida, we are talking about Yonkers, New York. But you mentioned bail reform. There is no bail reform in Florida. Florida is a Republican state, but we saw what happened in Florida yesterday and things that are happening in Florida and other Republican states. My point is this, I don't want to blame in any political party. I think this is more like a mindset. Okay, maybe we need to address this at early stages.
Do you have all the facts of the people in Florida,
I don't
of
know.
the people, of the individuals that created
Do you have
crime?
all the facts that this is created by the bail reform?
I just keep saying, yeah, I do. I go to police meetings. I go to police meetings, and they said that a lot of the times, again, I can't, a shooting or the stabbing, because again, I don't know if it was a mental illness, the situation, okay. I just know that there's so many police that can be in so many places. That so you can't control with the issues with homeless and mentally ill individuals. Okay, but for some reason, again, there are other crimes that I think bottom line is police presence. We need more of a police presence. A larger police presence would solve a lot of problems. It won't solve all the problems. So whether it's the beat cop, that the old time beat cops that where people go up and down and they have that respect for that cop that's always in the neighborhood. But again, our police are being sidetracked by these issues of people going and reporting certain other crimes or something happening, some smash and grabs. And the distraction is just so much time that these individuals have. So that's what my feeling is, that if they did not have to address a lot of these other issues, I think that there will be more presence in the communities where there need to be, because we need to build communities in the city. We need to build communities. That's one of my key issues, and that I believe will help. I don't know if it's going to eliminate, but it'll help.
Well, crime will never be eliminated. There will always be crime, but like you said, it will be minimized if certain measurements are taken in place. I personally don't blame bail reform and everything, and neither do you. I do believe that bail reform needs to be in place, but it needs to be tweaked. Okay, it needs to be done in a different way. We need to stop the revolving door, because the same criminals that commit a crime today might be the same committing the same crime tomorrow.
Why wait till tomorrow? It might be this afternoon.
Or this afternoon.
That's good.
Okay? I don't blame the police either, because police only enforces the law, they don't make the law.
That's right.
But the mayor doesn't make the law either. And the judges only pass sentence on the cases. They don't make laws, correct?
Correct. But
do they have discretion?
But again, as mayor, I will be totally focused on going after our state delegation to change the bail reform. I'm hoping that my victory will get other people involved, because let's face it, I can't do it myself. I could be the squeakiest wheel in the world, okay? But I'm going to be a squeaky wheel, because there's certain issues I don't agree with, and the Democratic mayor can't do it. You've got a Republican here that works with everybody, okay? But again, as a Republican, I have that power to be a little more aggressive than a Democratic mayor, and then Mike Spano can be, because he's not going to continue to aggressively approach bail reform, because he's a Democrat, and that's the way I feel about it. And then it's time. We need Republicans in power. Again, I am a different type of Republican. I work with everybody. I'm well respected by everybody here in the city. I listen. I always tell everybody, 2 ears, listen twice as much as we talk, one mouth, right? Listen twice as much as you talk, right? And so we work hard. But the point of the matter is, there's certain things that can't get done by a one-party system.
Mr. Merante, let's be specific on what would you have done different than the current mayor? Give me a specific to address the violence in the city of Yonkers. What power would you have, or does he have, to change the laws? Is it a question of communication, motivating others to look things in a different way?
Well, what's happening here is that people are afraid to, to voice objections. Okay, I will totally be more vocal than Mike Spano has been, because of the fact that, again, he can't. He can go only to a certain level of aggressiveness. Now, yes, can he stop it himself? Well, again, I don't know all the intricacies of all the departments, because I'm in the first precinct, and I deal with what I have to deal with. So I believe that more aggression from local communities, okay, local government, which again means that I'm hoping that people will recognize that we need Republicans to be in place to start changing things. And there's no question about it, but it's got to start somewhere.
One of the things that I hear the most in Yonkers, because I talk to all kinds of people in Yonkers, the homeless, the drug addict, families, I speak to everyone. One of the things that they complain the most is that when they call the police, sometimes they don't even get a response. Sometimes the police doesn't even respond to that call. And I try to explain that sometimes, or most of the times, courts are prioritized. If there is a stabbing, a shooting, an aggravated assault, and police has to make a decision, do we go there, or do we go to the guy that is calling because loud music or a block driveway? Where do we go? One of the ways to resolve that is have more police to respond to the calls, because we only have a certain amount of police officers in each shift, and they cannot address every single call. Would you try to hire more police officers for the city of Yonkers in order to expedite the amount of calls that come in? And how would you do that?
Well, that's a very tricky question, because of the fact that it's easy, to throw more money after a situation, to bring more police officers, because let's face it, it's very expensive to bring in a police officer. Love to be able to say that I love to hire more police.
But you see the need.
Well, again, I've been active. I'm living here in Yonkers now going on 36 years, been very active with the first precinct for at least 30 of them, probably more. And I've never once went to a situation where I was at the police precinct and I said, we don't need any more cops. Let's get rid of cops. It's never going to be a situation where you're going to get rid. You could always use more. As far as what I would do, well, yeah, I have to assess the situation and see, why is the problem because the cops, as you said, when a call comes in, we don't know when that call is going to come in, and just before that, if a cop has been called on to another job, unless it's a serious, shooting going on, they're staying with that particular situation which they've been called to. Again, what were they called to? And are we finding it that their time is being wasted on these recidivist crooks that keeps, just wasting our time? That's what I'm saying. That's what I need to understand a little bit better with regards to the amount of calls that we have. I don't get those details. I have not analyzed those type of details.
But you are a council person.
Yes.
But you are also a Yonkers resident for many years. I am sure that you have access, or make something about those calls. You know what the problem is.
I hear them.
You hear them.
I hear them.
And I'm sure that you have looked into it. At least I'm assuming that.
Again, I don't. I do what I have to do. I can't change. Don't think that they're going to eventually give me all the information that I want. Okay, without me having to foil my own city for information. But again, the situations that I do know of, because I do go to as many precinct meetings that I can attend and events. So that's where I learn most of my information. Should I be doing more at this point? Again, I'll wait 10 more weeks from tomorrow when I'm elected. Because at this point, I'm going to have to rely on that the people are doing the best they can with what they have.
Now, we're going to take a moment for a word from our sponsor, Dos Marias. Have you been here for the best tacos in town, sir?
I got to tell you, I've only been to this restaurant twice, and
Oh no! You need to come more often.
I'm sorry. We have a lot of good Spanish restaurants now up on Central Avenue, so I have to entertain up there.
You don't have the best tacos than Dos Marias.
Let's go downstairs right now and have something.
Then I would have to cook because today they close.
Oh.
They close on Mondays, but from Tuesday to Sunday, they open. They don't just have the best tacos. In town, they have the best sangria, the best food.
I'm sure they
the
do.
mole, you gotta try the mole.
Okay.
Excellent, guys.
Okay.
Excellent. We all talk about supporting our local businesses, but I say let's do more than just talk about it. Actions, not words. Let's actually support those local businesses. Doesn't matter if it's in South Yonkers, West Yonkers, Central Avenue, whatever. Spend your money in Yonkers.
Absolutely.
Put your actions to your words. Go to those restaurants. Saturdays, Sundays, Friday nights, instead of going down to the city, go down to Central Avenue, come down to Dos Marias. Did I say they have the best tacos in town? So guys, support them. Support our local businesses. Let's keep on going.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I have to give a shout out to Dos Marias. That's where we do the interview.
Absolutely.
But not just because of that. It's because they actually have the best Mexican food, at least around here. People are talking about more than just crime, guns, drugs, opioids. It's a problem. Okay? A young man lost his life yesterday or the day before yesterday, early in the morning, around 8 o'clock. Police responded to a person overdosed. When they arrived, the person was deceased. I broadcast at the event, as I do with most events, with the intent of creating awareness. I know that sometimes the images are very raw and upsetting to some. But you know, sir, that's the reality of life. I don't think that we should put things under the carpet and don't talk about it. We need to actually magnify the problem in the hopes that people like you, council people, maybe a future mayor, I don't know, our assemblymen, legislator, whoever, to come to the conclusion that we have a problem. We have a problem and something needs to be done about that problem. We need to put more money into resources, treatment. We need to do more. I don't have the answers, but hopefully the people that I voted for, the people that were voted for to solve our problem have the answers. Do you have an answer? Do you think that things should be done differently? Do you think that we can do different, that we can do more to address those problems, sir?
It's the same situation, different topic. Again, it's all a matter of the resources that we do have towards dealing with that situation. Obviously, we want to prevent the drugs from getting here. Okay, so why are they still getting here? What is it that the police need to reduce and hopefully eliminate the influx of the drugs that are hurting our people, our kids? We need to educate. I think, again, we need to start off by hopefully taking care of our people, educating them, giving the kids a place to grow, so that they stay away from these issues. Now, as far as the police, again, got to see what exactly where is the problem? What is the problem? How come? We've been working on so many different types of issues. Drugs is critical. Catalytic converters, all the other crimes. Just what is the key, and that is the proper use of our resources. If there's additional resources that are required, well, I'm going after Albany to send us some more money, because obviously they have money to use for other issues. I plan on using Albany and taking whatever money and whatever resources that we need. That's the bottom line: is analyzing, focusing, and eliminating. Can we 100% eliminate it?
No.
Probably not. But the point of the matter here is that I want it as close to zero as possible. Whatever the police need, I need to understand exactly what it is that they need, and I will work, all my ability to give them what they need to eliminate the problem.
I'm going to magnify what you just said.
Go ahead.
That you're going to go to Albany and ask for more money, because they have the money.
There's no question about it.
No question.
No question about it.
I'm going to magnify that a little bit more, because I hear what the people say. We don't have money to address drug issues. We don't have the resources. We have to fight. We don't have money to address mental illness issues. We see people going to the hospital, and in less than half an hour, they've been released back to where they were picked up from because they don't have insurance. And the hospitals are not going to keep those people there because they want to get paid. We don't have money. But God forbid there is a war somewhere and we find that money right away to fight somebody's wars. Okay? People are upset. And look, you know it's no secret that I'm a liberal as a liberal comes. There is no secret that I'm not a Trump supporter. It's no secret. But one thing I agree with the man, Americans first. Okay? That I agree. I don't agree with sometimes the way he delivers his messages, but I agree in principle
With the message.
with the message.
Understood. I think that's what most people feel.
Okay, I agree. And we need politicians, we need elected officials to say, you know what, enough is enough. Let's address the problems that the Americans are having in America. A war elsewhere, it's not an American problem. It might affect us in one way or the other. But we have bigger problems. We have homeless, we have opioid, we have drug addiction, opioid, we have gun violence, we have all these things.
We do.
I think I'm agreeing too much with Mr. Merante. Soon he's going to give me the registration to become a Republican. Is it in the bag?
I didn't bring my bag. Oh, no, I did bring the bag, but I did not put it in again. I keep forgetting it. Next time, I promise.
There is points there. That is a very valid point. But we are in a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that we are in a crisis. What we need is a person to resolve those crises.
Well, you know, I can't keep, again, besides my pitch on the 2 ears, 1 mouth, listen twice as much as you talk, I also will always continue to tell everybody that the numbers that I do know about is that the residents of the city of Yonkers, every year, consistently for the past 10 years or so, roughly $500 million between sales tax and income tax flows up the river to Albany. What we get back here in the city, our AIM money, aid and incentives to municipality money to the city, is $108 million for the last 12 years. How could it's been inflation? That's, again, we sent up $500 million, they sent us 108 plus some money for the schools, roughly $400 million to round things off. Where's the other $100 million? Possibly up there helping them build the Buffalo Bills new stadium, or whatever else Kathy Hochul wants to do with it. Maybe the state delegation didn't want to send it back to Yonkers because maybe Yonkers wasn't using the money properly for some particular reason. But again, we have lots of money that belongs to us. And by the way, I'm not even counting lottery money. Okay, I haven't even gotten into that realm of how much lottery money we send up to Albany and we get back here that come to our schools. Okay, so therefore that gap is probably even much larger than the 100 million shortage that we have every year. So I want my money. I want our money. Okay, yes, we have to throw some money into, and I don't know what goes into Medicaid. Okay, so there's some parts of the formula that need to be tweaked a little bit, but there's money there. That's just what we have right now that I can put my finger on, that we're entitled to. Okay, before I go and ask a resident of the city of Yonkers to pay another $1 in real estate taxes, okay, which I'm not very much happy to do at all, but might be necessary, but of course we're going to be shortchanged. The answer is Albany has our money. I want it. Mike Spano talks about it all the time. I don't know why we're not getting any more money, okay? But we have a big problem coming up. I don't want to digress into situations, but the Board of Education, with all the Biden bucks that we got back the past couple of years, Dr. Casada hired 220 new teachers, and that money is going to dry up at the end of this fiscal year. So therefore, we're looking at 220 layoffs, or we need to come up with $23 million more to fund those positions. And right now, the state of New York has the money. They have all this money to spread out for various other projects. Then they better not tell me that they don't have the money, because I know they do.
Well, I heard about, I don't want to scare anybody, but I also heard that there is some layoffs coming up, or possible layoffs coming up in the Yonkers public school systems. Some people might be let go, unessential workers, vice principals that are there shouldn't be there, and other staff members. So hopefully that will be resolved and no one loses their jobs.
Well, we hate to hear anybody losing their job,
Anybody.
because obviously, as I learned from some of my friends in the past, remember, it's not just the person that loses it, it's a family issue. Because
Exactly.
it affects a lot of people underneath the person who loses the job. But again, the question here is, are we operating in an efficient manner? That is what I will hope to bring my talents as a CPA. Again, you can see as much as I can right now what they want to show me, but as far as, are we, do we have too many people? Is it, we want to be right-sized.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that.
Now, Mr. Merante, the question that you just posed in regards to the money, why aren't we getting the money? I have heard that question so many times. What I have not heard as often is the answer, okay? Now, this is not news to you, it's not news to me, it's not news to lots of people. We've been hearing that song over and over and over and over. And over and over.
It's a valid song.
It's a valid song.
Absolutely.
But it's not a pretty song. But it's a valid song. We heard it. Now, this is not news to you. It's not news to the other council members. It's not new to the mayor. And it's probably not new to you when you become a mayor. What we need is the solution. What we need is the answer. So if that's a valid question, that it's an issue that you all know it's going on, why haven't we found an answer, a resolve for those questions?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. There is no good answer. The answer is our money, and we deserve it. And I want to know the answers. I want to be able to know why they're not sending back that money to us, because I know it's there. There's no hiding it. When I first got on the council, I was challenged by the state delegation of, what are you going to do over here? Well, the answer is I know what I did. I found out the information, and I know the answer's up there in Albany, and that's our money, and we want our money back, because the only way we're going to resolve issues is with money. And why they're not giving to us, again, maybe like I said, maybe they weren't happy the way Yonkers was spending their money under the administration.
Money, Yonkers was spending their money, it's our money.
That's correct. Thank you very much for making sure we clarify that. It's our money. It's absolutely our money. But the point of the matter here is that when the money that has been sent down to us, maybe they question, how we're spending it. They want to challenge us to say, well, why don't you do something before we do something? Well, something, that's not the answer. It's our money to start out with. I don't want to go, they want me to go and raise taxes so that they can give me more money. Makes no sense to me. We already have the money. We're doing everything we can with, in terms of sales tax and income tax. We got to make sure what we need to do, what I got to make sure is that we continue to do more proper planning, more of development that lifts communities, that brings it together, that people are going to keep coming here and spending money. That's my job, because I want to keep getting the money to come. I want to keep raising that bar in terms of bringing the right people in here, bringing in the right companies, right businesses, that we continue to prosper and that the money is there. That is what I can control in terms of trying to make sure that the money's there. Now, going after Albany, well, I guess I'm going to have to learn a few new tricks, because, again, as I said, yes, that's been a song that we've heard a long time. I plan on, again, aggressively pursuing that money forward. And then if I find anything out new, we'll have another interview.
We can have as many interviews as you'd like. The point of these interviews, the point of sitting down with Yonkers Voice, is so you can speak with the people that are watching us.
Sure.
As I always make it clear, politics is not my cup of tea. I really don't like politics. But I think that the people of Yonkers need to know who is who and what they're running for. So I just make my platform available to any politician that wants to talk with the people of Yonkers. I don't endorse, I don't oppose any candidate. Yes, I do sell an ad here and there, but that's not an indication of endorsement, okay? It's just a platform where you can expose, you can talk about what your plans are.
Sure.
If you become a mayor, a senator, a council person, whatever, it's not a sign of support or endorsement. And I think we have spoken about this very, many times.
Once or twice.
And I make that clear to everyone that sits with me. I am not a politician. I don't like politics. I don't care about politics. I care about Yonkers. And I want a person that is really going to represent us to the best of the ability and change instead of just talking about the changes. Now, Mr. Merante, I don't know what's going to happen in November. But let's say you are elected and you become the mayor of our city.
Yes, sir.
And instead of you being here talking to me, you're here talking to the governor of New York State. What would you ask her to change that would benefit and help your city? Instead of me, her, what would you tell her?
Well, one particular item?
You can say whatever. Just give me a few items in priority.
Sure. So, number one, the bail reform. Got to be fixed. Okay? Because that leads to some crime. Okay? And that stops people from going out shopping. We got to make sure that, I just heard on the news this morning that Nordstrom in San Francisco, that's been raided so many times, is finally going to close down after 30 years of business. We can't afford to have that. So crime is the number one issue in the city of Yonkers. Okay? We need to make sure that we eliminate it or minimize it to as close to zero as possible. We need people to be safe, to come down right here, to come shopping. We got some great restaurants down here. People are not coming down here because they're afraid of crime. That's number one. So yes, that's my first thing, is the bail reform and how we can fix that to the point where it does not affect us. Number two is money. Number two is money. How, and I can, we've touched on it in two different areas right now. Number one is what we already have in sales and income tax that we send up there, plus lottery money, and get the money back here, because money can help lots of problems, okay? I'm not gonna put that on the backs of my residents until we get every dollar we're gonna squeeze out of Albany, okay? Development. Now, we've got these beautiful, nice buildings that were built down here, okay? That at this point in time, I'm now getting approached by the people that are living down here that are telling me that they're still, obviously, Getty Square is still having its issues. Case in point, what happened the other day. Why? What happened with that gentleman. Again, I don't know all his background and what's going on with him, but issues that people are afraid to come here and do things. I was in a restaurant not too long ago down there, and the owner was saying that thank God he does some takeout business, but that's because it's a crime and it's a development, and the point of the matter is that people are now, that are moving into these developments down here, their leases are up and they're leaving, okay? And that's a concern to me, okay? So, again, once again, tied to crime. Now, development as far as bringing in businesses that are going to, again, as I say, lift the communities. We gotta keep having these businesses come here that are going, Central Avenue many, many years ago, and again, I use Central Avenue because I live over on the east side, I live right off of Central, okay? It used to take 10 minutes on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon to get from Tuckahoe Road to Jackson Avenue because it was so crowded, people coming up there doing shopping. Part of the problem is internet, okay? But the other thing is people don't have a reason to go out. Shopping is a social event. You used to go out there and meet your neighbors and shop, yeah. Go maybe stop at the local pizza shop and see them and have in the local restaurant the Chinese food, and meet. So we need to get people together because together people will be successful. So you're asking me about, so those, and then we got, you want to go down to the next level. You're asking me my issues. It's going to be education, okay? You talked about the crime statistics. I don't believe the education statistics are as accurate as we hear. Yes, kids are graduating so again, money. It's going to lead to money again. But the point of the matter is, these kids are being pushed out of the schools sooner than they need to be, because I keep hearing that the graduation rate is up Well, I want to hear about how many kids that have graduated from our high schools that are going to college and having successful 4-year, 5-year programs in college.
Now let's talk about a little bit about this education rate. Look, I have been in most press conferences, and one of the things that the current mayor talks a lot and praises the prior superintendent, Dr. Quesada, was the graduation rate. People in Yonkers say, yeah, of course the graduation rates are going up. Anyone is graduating, even if they cannot be graduated, they're just passing them for the statistics purposes. How do you feel? Because there is people going to college and they cannot read or comprehend. I'm not saying they cannot read, but in general terms. How you feel that? Are we passing people for the sake of showing high graduation rates, or are people really graduating because they deserve to be graduating?
I would probably say that the bulk of our kids that are graduating deserve to be graduating. Again, you know, parents are out there working hard for their kids, trying to do everything they can for them.
But we don't graduate kids because the parents are working hard for
That's
their
correct.
kids,
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, there is a situation where I do believe they're being, you know, the statistics are not accurate. They're not accurate. And again, we need to address that issue. We need to do what we can, again, to early intervention with the kids. We got to make these kids, we got to give them a path to success, not to fail. So, do I have all the answers there? Again, I have to hire people that are professionals, that are not here to be politically skewed, to skew the numbers.
Make a true assessment of what the
Absolutely,
problem is.
absolutely. I can't. Listen, I'll be lying to you if I said I have all the answers. I need to hire people that are the professionals. I need to hire the planning professionals that are going to come here with the objective of making it a successful city versus, you know, other things, you know, such certain developments are questionable on the back end of certain issues. But again, the whole thing here is that we need to have a team put in place without an agenda, because I'm going to be very cautious to hire somebody that, you know, and grill them and interrogate them and do whatever I have to find out that they're not here to become the chairman of this department or commissioner of this department, only to basically be trying to bring in a bunch of their family, friends, and friends and family situation. They're here to see help Yonkers succeed, or they will be out.
So the only agenda that you will accept is the one that is for the better of the city of Yonkers.
Absolutely.
And not for the personal
Absolutely.
benefit.
Why did I get into this game a long time ago? You know, people ask me, why did you do this? I said, because I'm a resident of the city of Yonkers first. I'm a homeowner. I want to protect myself, which is another thing, but if you want to get into the development part of it, you know, Albany tried to do away with single-family residential areas. Okay? It ain't going to happen on my dime as much as I can do it. Okay? Mike Spano did not agree. He did not fight Kathy Hochul's housing compact. But again, why did I get it? To protect my house and your house, because quality of life is what we're all here for, right? Quality of life to come and go in a safe, clean manner, and in the same breath do what we can for our children to make sure that they have a great education. So it's a big vicious cycle that we have to work to make as perfect as possible, so that people will be proud to be called Yonkers their home.
Mr. Merante, we cannot conclude this interview
Yep.
without talking about term limit.
What's that?
Well, you're going to tell us, where does that stand today? What's next?
Well, so there are two issues that are out there. I'll try to make it as brief as possible. Number one is, I am the term limit candidate, okay? Right now, Yonkers City Council was politicized. The mayor had his 4 votes and signed off to be running for the 4th term. Part of the reason why I am running, okay? So I went out and I got signatures, 2 different categories. And this is where the people are thinking that they heard about the fact that the referendum was defeated and they think I lost and that there's not an election. There's an election out there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. But the referendum, we needed to have 4,700 signatures, okay? We were working with the Democrats initially on this project, and we did come up with a little over 5,000 signatures, of which it went through the city clerk's office, which was defeated. We did not fight it, but it was disingenuously defeated as a referendum, which would have given you, the folks, the people, the residents of City of Yonkers, to vote to return term limits back to 3 4-year terms, which is now the opportunity of 4 4-year terms. So that referendum was defeated, basically because the team that was hired by the city disingenuously turned around and said that 1,800 signatures on the petitions were illegible. Are you kidding me? Most signatures on petitions are illegible. You obviously didn't want to work and make it happen anyway. So I wasn't going to fight that particular issue because, again, we needed 4,700 signatures. We submitted 500. There's a possibility that 300 or 400 were not valid for various reasons. So we let that be defeated. However, for me, I need to go out. I wanted to show everyone that I am the term limit candidate. Okay, I made my mistake in 2018 when I agreed to extend the terms to 3 4-year terms. Okay, that was my mistake because I told the mayor I was not going to have snap. If you want to go for a 4th term, you got to bring it to the people. If the people vote to give you the opportunity to run for a 4-year term, then I'm okay with it.
So to make it clear, it's not that you oppose term limits, you oppose the way it was done.
Well, I do personally oppose term limits. I think everybody should be term limited. I personally believe in myself, but I'm also a logical person that says, well, if the people are okay with it, majority rules. If the majority turns around, and I don't mean the majority 4-3 on the city council. I mean the majority of the people of the city.
Let the people decide.
David, listen, in 1994, 2001, in overwhelmingly support, 80-20, and I think in 21 it might have been a little bit, maybe, but roughly the same thing, maybe 75-25. I still think those 2 percentages of people in favor of 2 4-year terms said a lot, okay? For us to change it, and for me foolishly to agree to it in 2014, my mistake, live and learn, okay? The people in the city of Yonkers make term limits. The city of the people of Yonkers, the people of the city of Yonkers should be the ones that vote whether someone should have the term. And you know something, when I become mayor, but I am telling you this, that when I do become mayor, January 1, I'm going to put the Charter Revision Commission together, and I'm going to propose that we change it back to 2 4-year terms, and hopefully with the help, because again, I can't, the council still has to do it, but I'm going to be pushing it as hard as can be, and hopefully I'll get 4 people on the council then to help me put that on the agenda so that we can put the referendum back on the 2024 ballot so that the people of the city of Yonkers can vote on it.
Well, you heard it from Mr. Anthony Merante, Councilman Anthony Merante. Councilman, we have to conclude the interview. But I want you to do the closure. Whatever you want to say, it's on you. Look at the camera and talk to the people of Yonkers and tell them what you think they need to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in today. Thank you, Rue, for the opportunity. We're working very hard for you out there every day. However, I do need your support. Go out to MeranteForYonkers.com. Come out, volunteer, help us out. I'm here for you. I'm not here for anything else. I am an independent candidate. I have been funding, bulk of my candidacy has been funded by myself. I am beholden to no one except my wife. And at this point, I can use your help. Send us a contribution. Come on out and help. Because come November 7th, early voting starts up October 28th. I'm asking for your vote starting October 28th and concluding at 9 o'clock on November 7th, that we take this city back and make it a place where people can fully respect and live and enjoy life here in the city of Yonkers. All for you. Quality of life, I'm going to bring that back to you. We're not going to take anything away from you. Thank you very much.
Guys, as always, Yonkers Voice is here for you. We're here to give you the information that we feel you need in order to make an educated and informative decision on who deserves your vote. I don't endorse, I do not oppose any candidate. Our platform is open to everyone who wants to step up and talk to the people of Yonkers. The only people that we endorse, it's you. We feel that you have the right to know. And an informed voter is a powerful voter. So you need to know who each candidate is, where they stand for, what are they promising to deliver. Sometimes they cannot deliver what the promises are, but you know what they want to. So you make that decision. At the end of the day, the decision is yours, not mine, not the candidate. It's up to the people of Yonkers. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to help us out as well by sharing this interview in all of your platforms. Let your friends know about each candidate so they can make a decision based on information. This is a bridge where we connect them with you. You can pose your questions, we will ask those questions. That way you have a direct connection with those that you want to vote for, elect to represent you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, Yonkers Voice, always hard at work for you, 24/7, 365 days a week. And don't forget, in the mood for the taco, Dos Marias is the place to be. 200 New Main Street in Yonkers, New York. Stop by, actions, not words. Let's do more than just talk about supporting our local business. Let's actually support our local business by walking through those stores. Thank you, until next time.